Hey guys, welcome back to Through the Screen. I'm Charlotte.
I'm Erika.
I'm Emily.
We hope you've been enjoying our episodes so far, liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends. If you missed any of them, head on over to our channel and watch, and if you're not already, be sure to subscribe while you're there. This week we will be discussing a very important animal issue, so we hope you'll follow us once again as we join together via Skype to bring you conversations through the screen.
This episode, we will be discussing the risks of leaving your dog in a hot car and what you can do if you see an animal in distress. We will also be bringing you a heartwarming story about an elephant that finally found freedom after 45 years, bringing you our favorite songs about social change, and finally discussing this week's episode of Pretty Little Liars. First up, keeping pets safe in the summer heat.
So this week's topic of the week, we decided to talk about something that's pretty crucial, especially within the summer months, and that's leaving your animals, dogs specifically, in cars in the summertime. So Charlotte and Emily are going to kind of talk about, like, the causes and, like, not the causes, but, like, things that can happen to the animal itself, like the dangers and what you can do when you come across this situation.
So I'm kind of going to start with some of the dangers of this, and something that a lot of people don't really realize is that the temperature is different. Just because it's 78 degrees outside doesn't mean it's the same inside the car. So PETA's website actually provided this information, and they said that a 78 degree day basically is the equivalent to about 100 to 120 degrees in a car. And on a 90 degree day, it gets up to 160 degrees. And it can take as little as 10 minutes to reach that temperature. And, you know, this is obviously very dangerous for animals. They can sustain brain damage or even die from heat stroke in as little as 15 minutes. And dogs can only cool themselves by panting and sweating through their paw pads. So they don't really have any way to sweat as like we as humans do. So it's very dangerous for them. And, you know, it's not just cars, too. It's also when you take your animals out for walks. Something also to be mindful of is the pavement, because it's very similar with that as well. So an 86-degree day, the asphalt can reach up to 135 degrees, and it can give them incredible damage on their paws. So, you know, these are just things to really be mindful of. But when it comes to cars specifically, definitely be mindful of this. And Charlotte is kind of going to talk about what you can do if you see an animal in distress.
So, first, if you see a dog or animal in a hot car, the first thing you should do is take down the car's color, model, make, and license plate number. Have the nearest building page to find the owner, and if the owner can't be found, call the humane authorities or police immediately. If you feel like the animal's life appears to be in danger, get a second opinion and take steps to remove it from the car. We will link symptoms of heat stroke down below so that you can be aware of what you should do in case you encounter these symptoms.
So it's definitely, like, terrifying and stressful to be in one of those situations because everyone kind of looks around and is like, oh, that can be the person, that should be the person. It's never you to be the one, like, calling for help or putting it on yourself because everyone's like, oh, that person's more qualified or that person, like, just do it, basically. I was once in a Walmart parking lot and obviously, like, I've never seen an animal in a car, but I saw a child and the mom had left the keys in the ignition, windows up, car unlocked when the child was sleeping. And it's kind of the same, like they say, like we called the police because we had been waiting there for 10 minutes. Nobody, we paged the store, nothing. And the police showed up 20 minutes later, so we had been out there for a while. And it's like the same thing. Like, the mom came out, she was devastated, and like, because they don't know how like little it takes, you know, like same with an animal, like Emily said, like it could be like 5 minutes, could be 2 minutes, could be like 15 minutes. So it's really scary, and it's something that you should really like talk about and like deal with, because you're saving a life basically. So, as always, we encourage you guys to share your stories with us if you've ever had this type of incident, or if in the near future you decide to step up and you saw something like this happen and save the day. But we'd like to hear from you, and we'll link everything down below.
This week's heartwarming story is about an elephant named Wasana, who was held in captivity, chained for 45 years, and was recently set free by World Wildlife Foundation, Thailand. It seems that these types of things come up more and more frequently. We seem to be seeing a lot of, either circus or some type of, elephant workers in other countries, obviously, because we don't seem to see very many elephant workers other than the circus here in ours. But I guess we seem to be seeing more of them being rescued, which is very good news for, obviously, the elephants, because as many of us know, elephants are very emotional creatures. So when she was rescued, she was really malnourished and uncared for. She was dirty, obviously. She had a huge welt on the side of her leg, and apparently it turned out to be something serious, the welt on her leg, so that they're keeping an eye on it. But for now, she's actually going to be taken to be finally free and just be able to kind of experience that type of I guess, freedom, because she'd never, always being in chains, she had never been able to, roam or do anything on her own without being handled, basically. So, it's just really nice to kind of hear stories like this, especially with, elephants being, basically, I hear I believe they're very close to being on the endangered species list.
Probably.
So, it's good that we seem to be recognizing this more, and especially even here in our own country with elephants being banned in the circus, I believe, right?
In some places they are.
Yeah, and in some places it's like they can't even use the elephants in the circus, which I am all for, so I think that's really cool. But yeah, it was just really nice to hear this story and to be able to share it and kind of show that, not all humans are bad. Some of us are good.
Yep. So we will link everything down below for you to read.
So on this week's episode of Pretty Little Liars, it wasn't as intense as last week's, but we did see some familiar faces come back that are definitely not wanted. Some shady relationships there. And a surprise at the ending, which technically wasn't really a surprise because we were warned, and then we kind of just figured it out because it's pretty much the only obvious.
Yeah, the only obvious choice.
But anyways, what do you guys think of this week's episode?
Okay, so first of all, I was so mad when I saw Sarah Harvey's face.
With a horrible haircut, I might add.
I wanted to be like, no, this is not happening right now. No, I refuse to believe this. No. But yes.
Her
face. And then Noel comes back.
No.
And you're like, really? Really? You've been missing since like season 4.
You look so different.
Like, what the hell? And, okay, the PLL proposal thing that was hyped all goddamn week was the most dumbest thing ever, because we all knew it was coming. And I would have been way more surprised had you not been like, hashtag PLL proposal, who do you think it's gonna be?
Yeah, that was a very big mistake on the
Who
part of
idea,
the promotion team. Yeah.
That was bad. You suck. Anyway.
I mean, how amazing would it have been if we did not expect a single thing, and then we see Ezra propose? Like, how amazing would that have been? But no, we already knew it was going to happen.
I would have been way more shocked. Way more shocked.
That was horrible on their part.
Now, I come to the part where I was mad. Arya answering the phone.
Now you come to the part where you're mad?
Arya answering the phone when Nicole called. And she hung up.
And deleted it.
Bitch, that's wrong. I'm sorry. Like, you know what happened to that girl? She got kidnapped or something, and you hang up? And you're like, your logic is that somebody stole her phone?
I know. And you're not going to tell Ezra before he proposes to you? He needs to know all of the information.
I was not happy about that. What else was I not happy with in this episode?
I was not happy that it looked like she was about to say no. I'm like, you need to say yes. This is my favorite couple.
There was that. I have this weird, like, thing going on in my head where I'm like, Yvonne needs to go because Spencer needs to be with Toby, and, like, Caleb and Hannah need to get back together. But at the same time, I really, really like Spencer and Caleb, so I'm, like, torn between that whole situation.
I actually kind of do, too. I have to admit it. But it's frustrating to me because now they're really starting to intensify the thing between Spencer and Hannah. And I don't like that. They're really starting to intensify, like, their tension. And I just think it's sad. I'm like, they just need to be friends. I honestly, this sounds horrible, but I honestly feel like the only way this could be solved is if Caleb dies. Because there's just jealousy back and forth.
My heart.
No matter what.
I don't think my heart could take that if Caleb died. I really don't think my heart could take that.
I don't know how they're...
freaking dies on this show, so he'd come back somehow.
I mean, I just don't know how they're going to fix it because it seems like neither one of them will fully be okay with whoever gets him. Unless he just chooses somebody else entirely, but, I mean, I don't know.
And we also saw some, like, you know, other things that lead to clues, like, the burner apartment or whatever was actually, like, where he was, like, becoming Wilden or what? I don't really know.
That was weird. Creepy.
And then they found, like, passports and things in, like, the sink and, I don't know, money, all kinds of stuff. And, then you have this whole, like, Allison dynamic with Mary Drake now, and it's just like, what's gonna happen there? Because, you know, I really, really don't want to trust Mary Drake. Like, I don't trust her. Like, something inside of me is going, don't trust this woman. And then
I want to, though. I want to.
Exactly. On the flip side, I want to trust her.
But she's getting a lot shadier in this episode, though. I was sad. I was like, oh no, you're turning.
Yeah. I was like, your Jessica colors are coming out right now. Because she was like she was definitely something's up. And I think she has all the money.
I'm honestly still waiting for it to come out that this is Jessica and Mary is the one that died.
That would be hilarious. But anyway, I really think that she has all the money. Because somehow, magically, all of Allison's money is gone.
Right. I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore with this show.
Me neither. Me neither. It's just one big headache.
I just would prefer if they don't tease things all week long. Just, that's my suggestion.
We did not need hashtag PLL proposal. We just did not.
It's just weird to me because there was nothing in the previous episode that even alluded to that. So
I know.
Why would you go PLL proposal, PLL proposal?
Exactly. There was nothing in the previews. After last Tuesday's episode, there was nothing in the previews about that.
Exactly, unless they need more viewers.
They're in their last season.
I know. I just don't get it.
You're not trying to build viewers now. You're in your last season.
True.
You should have your viewers, and you should be, you know, your last season is like a thank you to your viewers.
True.
You know what I mean? It's like you're supposed to give the viewers everything that they have been waiting for.
But not too much.
And I feel like, Marlene, does that to an extent, and then she adds 20,000 more questions on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you need to stop giving us questions. We need the answers, because that's why you're losing your audience if you are losing an audience.
Real talk.
Seriously.
No, but really, I don't know. I'm interested to see how everything's going to come together, and I'm hoping that we start getting answers, because we're practically almost in the middle of the season already. So I'm hoping that we will soon get some of these answers that we've been hoping for, and figure out what the heck.
Jessica.
Yeah, and figure out what the heck Jenna, Sarah, and Noel are doing together.
So as always, we encourage you guys to watch Pretty Little Liars with us. We'll link everything down below for Freeform, all that fun stuff. And write to us, because we want to know your thoughts on the show as well.
And since next week there is no new episode, we will be, of course, bringing you our special bloopers episode. And we will return with Pretty Little Liars when it returns the following week.
It's no surprise that now more than ever, our world needs to adopt the phrase, less hate, more love. So this week, instead of choosing just one song for our Song of the Week, we decided to throw back to some of our favorite songs that discuss social change, in light of everything going on in the world today.
So my two songs were Body Love by Mary Lambert and Shy by Colbie Caillat. Body Love is a pretty intense song. The first time I listened to it, I was actually in a really bad state. So, and the piano, I've mentioned in previous episodes, where piano songs get to me. So it's one that can make you cry, especially with the words. But they're very powerful words. I find the song talks a lot about just the brokenness in women in our society now, and even men too. There's always this body shaming, and there's always deeper issues within ourselves. And at the end of the song, she basically speaks over you, being like, no, you're worth more, you're worth more than this, blah blah blah. Not blah blah blah, but it's an encouraging song. And Colbie Caillat with Try, once again, it's all about beauty, and it's just it's a moving song, and yeah.
My two songs were Christina Aguilera's Beautiful and Same Love by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis featuring Mary Lambert. Basically, Beautiful is a song that brings me back to a really awkward time in my life. It came out when I was 17 years old, and me and my best friend used to sing it to each other. And it's just so funny because later on in life, after she had a daughter, Firework came out, and we used to sing it to her daughter. So it was kind of it always, we always just used to joke about that. But yeah, so when I hear Beautiful, it just always makes me feel good and empowered, and it's the video is about, again, it's about empowering yourself and not shaming yourself and not looking down on yourself and just loving yourself, and that's really something that's very important now. Same Love is a little different. It's more about the LGBT community, and how we can more just be accepting of that community, and how people tend to look at, even yourself and your families, and, just you're brought up in a society a certain way, and, you're good at this, you're good at that, so that means you're this. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. And it's, again, a very powerful message, very powerful words, and it definitely has a strong meaning in today's society, especially.
So for my two songs, I kind of went in a little bit different direction. I went more towards kind of our society in general, and a lot about wars and, all of the really negativeness in our society. So I chose Where Is the Love by the Black Eyed Peas and Imagine by John Lennon. So Where Is the Love, it came out when I was younger, and I've always loved it, and I just think it's sad to me because it came out in 2003, most likely in response to 9/11, and because it talks a lot about terrorism, and I just think it's really sad that 13 years later, it's still so relevant, and we haven't changed a lot of these issues. So I think it's still a really relevant song, and, sadly, I feel like we haven't listened to the words as a society, and, I think it's something that everyone should really take to heart and listen to. And then, of course, Imagine is kind of like the anthem of everything, basically, is, just imagining where we can live in peace, and if we take away all of these things that cause us to fight and see each other as different, how different the world would be. So I think both of those songs are really amazing, and we hope you enjoyed all of our picks this week, and be sure to let us know down below what your favorite songs about social change are, and of course we will link all of our favorites in the description box so you can listen for yourself.
Okay guys, that's our show. We hope you enjoyed this installment of Through the Screen. If you did, be sure to like down below and also subscribe to the channel. We also appreciate any feedback you may have. We post new videos every week, and we'd love for you all to join us and tell your friends. Next week, we're going to be bringing a special blooper video, so you won't want to miss it. Until then, thanks for watching, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.